Social media is buzzing with reactions to the tragic situation surrounding Emily Willis, a 25-year-old former adult film star who is now fighting for her life in hospital. People are sharing their thoughts, some kind, some harsh, and some just plain confusing. Social media is disgusting, just filled to the brim with hate from people who won't ever say these kinds of things in real life. Not respecting yourself while alive, then asking for respect post-mortem is a little weird. Emily Willis, whose real name is Litzy Laura Banuelos, a former adult film star, is currently in a semi-conscious state after suffering a cardiac arrest last year. She was admitted to a rehab center in Malibu, California to treat her addiction to ketamine, a powerful drug. But things went terribly wrong. According to a lawsuit filed by her family, the rehab center failed to take proper care of her, and now Emily is permanently disabled. Her family is heartbroken, and they're facing a financial crisis because of her medical bills. But how did Emily end up here? Well, let's go back to the beginning. Life was not always easy for her. She struggled with mental health issues like depression, anxiety, and PTSD from a young age. These struggles made her vulnerable, and she often felt lost and alone. When Emily turned 18, she met her boyfriend on Tinder, who convinced her to join the adult film industry. At the time, she thought it was a way to make money and gain control over her life. She quickly became one of the most famous stars in the industry, even winning awards like the Performer of the Year at the AVN Awards, which are like the Oscars of the adult film industry. But fame and success did not bring her happiness. Behind the scenes, Emily was struggling. The adult film industry is a tough world, and it's hard to leave once you're in. Emily tried to transition into mainstream acting in Hollywood, but people often stereotype those who come from the adult film industry. They don't always get a second chance. Emily's brother said that she left the adult industry 2 years ago and was trying hard to make it big in Hollywood, but the doors kept closing on her. This rejection made her feel even more lost and unstable. She was determined to turn her life around, but the pressure and rejection took a toll on her mental health. She began using drugs to cope with the stress and pain. According to reports, Emily was consuming an insane amount of ketamine, up to 5 to 6 grams a day. Ketamine is a powerful drug used in hospitals for anesthesia, but when misused, it can cause severe damage to the body and mind. As one user said, at 6 grams a day, I'm surprised she even made it during the last 12 months. It's not like you can reverse the effects of an overdose right away. Emily's addiction spiraled out of control. She tried to seek help and checked into a rehab center called Malibu Lighthouse Treatment Center. But instead of getting better, her health rapidly declined. She suffered a cardiac arrest and is now in a coma with little hope of recovery. Her family is devastated and has filed a lawsuit against the rehab center, saying the rehab center didn't take care of her the way it should have. The lawsuit says the staff didn't pay attention when her health got worse and ignored signs that she needed help. For days, no one did anything, and on February the 4th, 2024, she was found unconscious. By then, it was too late. She had had a heart attack, and because no one helped her in time, she went without oxygen for too long, causing brain damage. Her family says this never should have happened. The rehab was supposed to be a safe place, but instead she was left alone when she needed help the most. They believe that if the staff had done their jobs right and followed medical rules, Emily could have gotten better. Now, they're fighting to hold the rehab center responsible for what happened. Emily's family is heartbroken. They never imagined this would happen to their daughter. Her brother shared that Emily was a kind and loving person who just wanted to make it big in Hollywood. However, the industry's harsh reality and the stigma attached to her past made it nearly impossible for her to succeed. Her family is now facing a financial crisis because of her medical bills. They're struggling to pay for her treatment and care, which has left them in a very difficult position. Emily's family wants people to remember her as more than just an adult film star. She was a daughter, a sister, and a friend. She had dreams and hopes just like anyone else. People are also questioning why Emily's family didn't step in sooner. Some are blaming them for not helping her when she was struggling with addiction. But addiction is a complex issue. It's not always easy for families to know how to help, especially when the person refuses to accept it. One user wrote, "So her family didn't care when she was a junkie and sex addict, but they care now. It wasn't anyone's job to save this poor girl." While it's easy to judge, the truth is addiction affects not just the person but everyone around them. Emily's family is now living with the guilt of what they could have done differently. They're also dealing with hurtful comments from people who don't understand their pain. Emily's story has sparked a lot of conversation about the adult film industry and the challenges people face when they try to leave it. Many former stars struggle to find work in other fields because of the stigma attached to their past. Emily was no exception. She wanted a fresh start, but the world wasn't ready to give her one. Here's what people think about the situation. Sometimes a 9 to 5 might feel insane, but it can keep you sane at the same time. Adult content isn't a job. It's obviously extremely hard on mental health. Emily's addiction to ketamine was likely a way for her to escape the pain and rejection she felt, but instead of helping her, it destroyed her health. Now she's in a coma, and her family is left to pick up the pieces. So what happens next? Emily's family is fighting for justice, but the road ahead is long and difficult. They're also hoping for a miracle, that Emily will wake up and recover. But the reality is her condition is very serious, and the chances of her returning to her old self are slim to none. She went from being a fully functional adult to living in a nursing home, permanently disabled and unable to move or speak. Emily's story is a reminder of how fragile life can be. Addiction is a disease, and it can happen to anyone. Let's hope Emily's story inspires change and encourages people to watch out for others' mental health and their own as well. What are your thoughts on Emily's story? Do you think the rehab center should have been held accountable? Or do you believe Emily's family could have done more to help her? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching.